had no birthday candles, so I kind of had to improvise. I made a cute little chocolate vanilla cupcake, and so I guess I'm just gonna sit here and make a wish about YouTube because I'm weird. And yeah. If you didn't guess by the title of this video, I've been on YouTube for 6 months, which is really, really awesome, and I feel like it's such a big milestone. I made these cupcakes this morning from like one of those ready-made mixes type things, and I don't know what happened to my icing. It's real chunky. It's butter icing, and it's never turned out like that for me before, so if anyone knows why my icing has decided to be chunk, please let me know. So I thought I'd just sit down and tell you guys some benefits of starting YouTube, in my opinion, how YouTube has affected my life, all of that kind of stuff. Starting off strong, I'm going to start off with just telling you some of the skills that I've actually picked up through doing YouTube. So one of the first skills that I picked up was obviously editing. Editing itself is a whole branch of skills. There's color grading, there's editing down, there's audio control and fiddling with audio and mixing audio, there's effects such as explosions or text appearing behind you, all of that kind of stuff. Starting out using those kinds of programs can be very, very daunting, but after like a month or two, you get so used to it. So editing has been a really, really big skill, and I've gotten to the point where I'm able to creatively edit things in a way that I like it and in my own kind of style. So I've actually sort of found what my style for editing is, which is so nice. Another skill that I've picked up is obviously scripting, which is writing out what you kind of want to say in videos and how you want videos to go, certain shots that you want. So there's a lot that goes into that. I don't necessarily always write down what I want to say in videos. Sometimes I just wing it, especially if it's a makeup video or anything where I'm kind of just doing whatever. If it's something a lot more planned out like this, I do script a little bit, but I just put bullet points. I never directly write out what I'm supposed to be saying. Another big one is obviously filming. These are like the main 3 skills that you'll get if you start doing YouTube. Obviously, filming, there's so much that goes into filming. There's lighting. I have to pick up ways to make sure lighting is good, because if your lighting's good, then most of the time your footage is going to be good. I had to learn how to use a camera. I had to learn what ISO was. I had to learn what aperture was. I had to learn what shutter speed was. I had to learn what white balance was, and I had to know how to put the right settings in my camera to make sure that I'm getting the best possible footage. And also the dynamics of your shot. There's so many different things that go into producing a video that I think a lot of people don't really think about it until you actually try to do it yourself. Then you see how much actually goes into trying to make one of these videos. Another skill that I've picked up that I didn't expect to pick up from YouTube is storytelling. It's so obvious now because it's such an essential part of creating a video, especially the kind of videos that I make where I'm showing you what I'm doing or I'm doing makeup, but I've learned how to effectively use storytelling to show specific things that I want to be emphasized in my shots and in what I'm doing. So I've learned a lot from that, actually, and that storytelling skill has like flowed into other parts of my life, which is really, really cool. Another thing that I also think a lot of people don't think will happen when you start YouTube is my imagination. I know that's not a skill per se, but if it can be improved upon, technically it is a skill. So I don't know, let me know in the comments below if you guys think imagination is a skill. My imagination went from this puny little pea-sized thing that could be squashed to a rock, a boulder that could crush you. My brain comes up with so many more ideas than I was at the beginning. I have so many content ideas written down that I want to do. They're way, way, way more creative than when I first started. But this skill of imagination, just like the storytelling skill, has also spread into so many different parts of my life. It's allowed me to be creative in so many things that I didn't think you could be creative in. Like cooking, like skincare, like makeup, like mundane things. It's so great because it's really blossomed into other things just from doing this one thing, and that was starting YouTube. Aside from skills, mentally, YouTube has had such a huge impact on me. I was in this rut before I started YouTube of sleeping way too much. I would sleep the whole night and then I would sleep majority of the day. I would watch videos in bed. I would send out my CV and that would be it. I wouldn't do anything else. I didn't have passions for anything else until I decided I actually can't keep sitting on my butt all day. I need to get up and do something. And I decided that I wanted to start YouTube. And at the end of 2023, I'd broken up with a boyfriend of mine who we were very toxic for each other. Both of us were just in such a toxic place. So it needed to end. But also, once that ended, I was feeling, I didn't really know who I was anymore. Didn't know what I liked doing anymore, what I wanted to do with my life. Just felt so alone, and I was struggling a lot to just get up and do things like take a shower. But when I started this journey of creating content, even though it was really hard for me to actually do something throughout the day and to edit it and get it up in time within the span of a week, I really went from this person who didn't know who she was and hated herself and doubted everything that she did to this person that's so much more confident. I feel happier. I feel more put together. I know who I am. It's not just that I went from being in this rut to feeling a little bit better about myself. It also increased my productivity an immense amount. I mean, I do so much more during the day than I've ever done. I don't just do YouTube now. I do a ton of other things that I want to work on. Another thing that YouTube has done for me is it's made me feel so creatively fulfilled. Just by starting making videos and being creative and figuring out how to edit things and whatnot, I've taken that creativity and it's spilled into other aspects. So now I'm officially this year, hopefully by the end of the year, I will have written a fantasy book. It's already planned. It's got an introduction, it's got a middle, and it's got an end, and I just need to plan out a lot more lore and that kind of stuff, because obviously it's a high fantasy. Taken the creativity that I've kind of got from here and it's overflowed, and I've started writing a novel. For the first time in my life, I'm actually doing it. I'm actually writing it. Like, I'm not putting it off and being like, oh, I want to, but like it's like so much work. Like, I'm actually doing it, which is insane to me because I did not have that amount of discipline before starting creating these kinds of videos. The creativity from making these videos has also spilled into another aspect of my life, which I'm now creating a short film with one of my friends who is an actual videographer, having actually studied videography and all of that kind of stuff. And we're going to be making a short film, and that short film I'm also going to be acting in, because obviously we have limited resources and whatnot, so I'm going to be picking up another skill as well as learning a lot more about videography and storytelling by making this short film. I'm also started drawing again, which is something I used to do when I was happy, and then when everything went down in 2023, I stopped doing it. Recently started watching my favorite art YouTuber. Her name is Drawing with Waffles. She hasn't been active in the past, I think, 2 to 3 years, and she's just such an inspiration to me. Every time I watch one of her videos, I get inspired and then I want to draw. Now I watch one of her videos in the morning and I'll sit there and I'll draw with her, and from that inspiration of finally drawing again and loving what she did, I've started
watching tutorials on how to, do a more stylized drawing style, which is something I've always wanted to be able to do, but I've never had the ability to do it. I was never good at drawing stylized things. I was always a realistic artist, and I really wanted to get better at that. And now I'm actually pushing myself to get better at this one skill that has been lingering at the back of my mind for like eternity.
Just from this one thing that I decided I was going to do has just crawled into every other aspect of my life that I used to have a passion for. It's made me so creative and so fulfilled. It just spread like a virus, which sounds like a bad thing, but it's so good. It's also given opportunities to me. In the past 6 months, I've been commissioned to do editing professionally for people, which is so insane because I never thought I'd ever be doing that. It's also really, really helped me discover who I am as a person. I was so lost. I didn't know who I was. I found out that I'm actually a workaholic, despite thinking that I was just one of those lazy people. I found out that I love reading. which is another thing that I've picked up since doing YouTube because I wanted to write a book. I started reading. So I've really discovered a whole lot about myself. And being an introvert, it's hard to talk to people. I struggle to coagulate sentences. I struggle to express how I'm feeling, but by talking to the camera, I'm able to communicate 100 times better than before I started. YouTube has really become an emotional outlet for me. It makes me feel better. It's like stretching. You know, you don't want to do it because you know it's going to be a little bit painful and whatever, but once you've done it, you feel so refreshed and renewed. You know, a lot of people talk about a runner's buzz. You know, when you run on a daily basis, you get this kind of high. I haven't really heard anyone talk about a creative buzz. By doing all these creative things, it's like I am on a creative buzz. Doing this one thing has made me into an entirely different person. If I met myself 6 months ago, I don't think we'd recognize each other because we're such different people. This is a message to anyone who has a dream that they are too scared to do. Just start, because it's not even about the end of it. The process is the most beneficial and life-changing thing about doing that one thing that you want to do. So if you have a dream, do it, because it doesn't matter how it ends up. That's just a little prize for ourselves about achievement at the end. You start one thing and it flows into every aspect of who you are. The process is going to be the most exciting part. Also, let me know what your dream is. What do you want to do with your life? Tell me. I want to know. Thank you guys so much for watching my stupid little video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.